This is Jackie, and I am here with Shira. We are at the last Homedale stop of the Vans Warped Tour. You're a Warped Tour veteran. How has your sound changed, or how have you evolved over the years of Warped Tour and just in the past 4 years since we last talked?
Yeah, totally. Well, when I started doing Warped Tour, my sound was really kind of like electro punk. It was with a DJ. It was punk rock. It was like scrappy, but it was beats. Then I kind of evolved more into like punk rock. I had the full band with the live drums and everything, and then my next sort of chapter, when you saw me in 2014, I was experimenting with a new sound that was more kind of electronic dance music. So the attitude was still punk, but the sound was different. And now I kind of decided to take it back to the punk rock roots. We just finished a new EP with Tim Armstrong from Rancid, 6 new songs. And my goal really with this EP was to kind of fuse both of the sounds, you know what I mean? So to go back to the punk rock rawness, but then also still to have that kind of modern dance pop sound. So it's sort of like punk rock fused with new wave. And Tim Armstrong, he's like the godfather of 90s punk, but he loves new wave, so you wouldn't know it. But his side project Transplants has definitely inspired me, with Travis Barker on drums. So yeah, it's a little something different, but I'm really happy with how the EP came out. Yeah.
What inspired your songwriting this time around?
A lot of it was just kind of about like the excitement of coming together again as a band, and we knew that we were, coming back for the last ever Vans Warped Tour. So it kind of, honestly, it dictated like my whole kind of creative process. But there's some different fun topics. I talk about dating apps in a song. I talk about feminism is always going to be, a topic that I approach. And so I have a song called Girls Just Want to Get Some, kind of like updated Cyndi Lauper tune. Just kind of fun mixed with like punk rock. Yeah, like we say it's the musical love child of the Ramones and like a 1980s Madonna.
I love that era. Yes, that sounds great. So with new music on tap, what role do you see music streaming sites having with your new music?
I mean, streaming sites are everything, I'm guilty of it. I listen to Spotify. I listen to all my music on Spotify. I love the concept of it being, for everyone and accessible. So, I'm not one of those artists who's against it at all. That being said, if you do want to download my music, I appreciate the support, but I think streaming sites are great.
What role then do you see music videos having?
Music videos are so important. We actually are striving to record a video for every song on this EP, so, and it gets expensive, but I think it's important to kind of have a visual component to your music. Yeah, so we actually, we have a video for Get 'Em Hot.
That's my next question. She's stealing it up. It looks very fun, very, a little Let's Get Physical, yes, but like modernized. Yes. I appreciate that. I love the color choices as well. Who came up with the treatment for that video?
Actually, I have to credit my director, Elliot Williams. It was his idea. I had a different idea. I wanted to play off the whole kind of Brooklyn versus Hollywood thing, and which still could come back in a different video. But he said, when I just listen to the song, I see people sweating, get them hot, get them sore, and so it was really his idea, and then I loved it, and we went with it. We do have a new music video that we shot in Venice Beach a couple of weeks ago for Summer's Coming, our next single. So that should be out within the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that.
And when is the EP coming out?
The EP is out. It came out the first day of Warped Tour, June 21st. Yeah.
And that was Brooklyn Goes to Hollywood.
Brooklyn Goes to Hollywood.
So speaking of music videos, we've pulled some comments for our Watch What You Say sketch. And so Shiragirl is going to respond to some comments from the Blast That Radio video, which is it was a long time ago.
Yes.
The good news is the comments on your most current videos were all really positive. So maybe we have learned something over the years to maybe be nicer to each other.
Right. Well,
maybe a little bit.
It's also more fun to talk about scandal or whatever, right? Like controversy. When we talked about this a little bit when I kind of experimented with the new sound of dance music, there were some people that necessarily didn't like it or didn't want to go with it. So, you want me to read it?
I can read it for you, okay. And then you can respond to us. So, Sisyphus Batterus, says, "What's the deal with this? You had a good solid footing and respect in the punk scene, and now you're putting out garbage. Mean, dude. I hope this is just an experiment and you go back to punk soon."
Well, I did go back to punk, so I hope he's happy.
Neener.
But everything's an experiment when you're an artist, and that's why I love Tim Armstrong, because he's all about experimenting with different sounds, and it doesn't have to be, your sound doesn't have to be one thing. It's like, do you eat the same kind of food every day? So you try different things. I grew up as a dancer doing musical theater. I love dance music. I love pop. So yeah, that was something I did want to try out, and I'll probably go back and forth between doing different sounds. I think my latest music, like we talked about, kind of fuses both. So hopefully you like it.
Change is okay. Embrace the change, darn it. Brandy Peterson says, when did they become electric, unless she's just solo now?
Well, it was kind of a solo project, so to speak. So now that I'm back with my band and my drummer, Rainey P, who I've been playing with since 2006, yeah, we are kind of going back to our roots. So it was a solo project, yeah.
Again, change. Embrace it. And
I think people got confused. I did keep it kind of under the Shiragirl name, because Shiragirl's always been like me, like even when I started with the electro thing, with the DJ. So I was like, okay, I figured that hopefully most people want to try different sounds, but I get it. It's not for everyone.
And Mo Dog says, like the hot girls, but this is not punk. This is just using sex to sell. Ouch, dude.
Sex does sell. If there's anything they've taught us women.
I mean, I feel like that's what they've taught us women, unfortunately.
I mean, I wasn't trying to be punk, so that's right there in the comment. I wasn't putting this video up being like, here's punk rock now, like it was set to be a different thing. It was electronic dance. So, and actually, I think when I put that song out, I put it out under just the name Shira. I don't even think I put it out under Shiragirl. So yeah, it was a different project.
So speaking of kind of the role of women in music, you have a very specific stage. Can you tell the folks out there who maybe haven't come to Warped Tour in a while and should about your stage?
Yeah, of course. So I run the Shiragirl stage for female-fronted bands, and back in the day, I noticed that Warped Tour could use more female talent, and so I took it upon myself to kind of make it my mission. And so over the years, we've hosted close to 300 female-fronted bands, including Paramore on their first ever tour, and Joan Jett made an appearance on the stage. And it's something that we hope to continue in whatever form after this tour.
So what's up next for you after this tour?
We're going to be shooting more music videos for our EP. Very excited for that. So keep an eye out for the Summer's Coming video. And we're doing some club shows as well. And we are working on new music. So we are aiming to have a full length out next year.
Be sure to grab Brooklyn Goes to Hollywood and check out more from Shiragirl. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and In the Key of Change.